This is a story of a boy in Singapore. He, for about a couple of years, his mom told him that if you come home and you get less than 70% for your studies, I will beat the difference into your hand. Now, so let's do a simple math. Let's say he come back with his geography 65. How many times would the mom beat him? 5, you're right. So that's been happening for a couple of years. So one day, I think he came back with his science paper or computer science paper. I think he failed, and then he put his paper there on his out, and he jumped off the building. The mom, hysterical and so on and so forth, went down and I only asked for 70, not 80. Now, when I put this on Twitter and I talk about it, a lot of people think that this is an exception. The Malaysian speak is, it won't happen to my son one. It's always other people, right? It's the way we all think. Bad stuff never happen. Yes, it always happens to other people. Now, if you read the Malaysian papers, Singapore papers, you'll see this kind of news almost every 2 or 3 months. There will be a kid, a teenager, who kills herself or himself, or almost kills herself or himself over studies. This was last 2 years ago, lonely 12-year-old kid sadly committed suicide because she barely passed her exams. This was just 2 months ago, Form 1 student threatened suicide, not even during exam, but because they placed him in the last class. 5 science 1, 2, 3, 4. I was in 5 science 1, and all of us are so proud, and we're always making fun of those people. 5 science 4, ew, So this guy went to science 4 or something like that, and he almost killed himself. And Hong Kong is even worse. Failure is worse than death for Hong Kong's youth. This is very serious, and I have a friend in Hong Kong. I just spoke to her a couple of months ago. She said that her condominium is contemplating putting nets, because people are just jumping off. All right? Now, and this is very common. Almost everyone here knows a friend or relative who knows a friend or has a relative who has killed herself or is in depression. One of my distant cousins, I think, if I'm not wrong, I think he or she, she killed herself by jumping off the building. What is happening here? Now, the problem I see here is this. Asian students are really stressed by exams, correct? Yes, exactly. I've never heard people say no. They're always stressed. And my research, I read around, the point here is this thing called Confucian heritage culture, which largely refers to Chinese, Korean, Japanese, but let's not limit it to these 3. Exams and studies are a matter of personal identity. Do you know what I mean? It means your A's is you. If you don't get those A's, you what? You feel that you are less. I'm less of a boy, I'm less of a girl, I'm less. I remember getting my SPM results. You know how many A's I got for my SPM results? I got 4 A's, And 2 of them were A1s. You know how proud I am of that? You know what my mom told me? She said, whatever happens, come home. And I had a friend who was scoring, I think she got 7 A's. You know what she was doing next to me when we were getting those white slips? You know what she was doing? She was crying. We were like, why are you crying? I only got 7 A's. So this is the major WTF moment. But at the time, WTF wasn't a thing yet. Okay. So Confucian heritage culture, what happens is this. You got students being pressured by who? Their parents, teachers, peers, right? I know you hate all those people who got 8 A's and they go and brag on it on Facebook, right? You really hate them. You hate them so much, but you're forced to like it. Oh, I just give you a like. Okay. Like, okay, move on. Right. You are pressured by parents, teachers, society, your friends, and you're pressured. And even if you score well this semester, what happens next semester? You got to do it all over again. What happens is that you create, what I claim now is that Confucian heritage culture creates a culture of fragile students. Students who kill themselves. Now, a Malay friend who saw me present this came to me and says, Alwyn, Chinese students kill themselves. Do you know what Malay students do? I said, no, what do? They take drugs. That's what he said. Okay? That was a good laugh. Okay? So, now, here's the problem, right? Here's the problem. When you demand that millions of students achieve straight A's, right? And the definition of academic excellence in Confucian heritage culture is that students get straight A's, correct? What you are basically expecting is it's almost like you're expecting every student to become a world-class footballer, but now it's not football. You're expecting every student to become a top scholar. Is that realistic? It's not realistic. That's why the suicide rate is going up. In Malaysia, the mental health rate is going up. Are you aware of that? Okay, keep following the news Straits Times. I mean, I know you don't read the news, but keep following news. The mental health rate in Malaysia keeps going higher and higher and higher. So, what happens now? The point is this. We are producing fragile students. Okay, I'll just say this one more time to parents, to educators, teachers. We are producing fragile students. And everything fragile will break over time. So, this is Nassim Nicholas Taleb. If you want some fun, follow him on Twitter. He has a lot of Twitter battles. You'll love this guy. He will just, scold this guy, scold this. It's great stuff. If you want to learn deeper, he has a few books. Anti-Fragile, Black Swan, Skin in the Game, Fooled by Randomness. Great guy. And this is what he said. The fragile wants tranquility. The anti-fragile grows from disorder. The fragile student wants the exam question to remain the same. That's why the moment the exam question change a bit, how do the Malaysian students react? Oh no, what is he asking, Right? That's the problem. But the anti-fragile student enjoys a different question. He enjoys, curveball questions. New, right? So how do we produce it? Now, just to make a very quick point here, the term anti-fragile is not popular in Malaysia for some reason. I'm not sure why. I seem to be the only one talking about it. And when I talk about it, people don't seem to like it, but it's okay. I'll just keep talking about it. The anti-fragile is contrasted with the fragile. So the fragile, to put it simply, the fragile breaks when there's more pressure. The anti-fragile doesn't break and even thrive. So this is a what's this? Teacup. What happens when you drop it? It breaks. This is the pure best definition of fragile. What is this? This is the Malaysian highway, right? All you need is one dude to slow down and look at the birds. Right? And there'll be a 2-mile stretch. So imagine if 2 cars actually and people will just slow down to watch them kissing. It will be huge. So what point is that Malaysian highways are fragile. Okay. So let's look at some examples of anti-fragile. Whoa, this is a Hydra. Greek was it mythology? What happens if you chop the head off? 2 will grow. So the Hydra is one definition of anti-fragile. When you attack it, you kill it, it will grow. So I ask you now, are Malay students like the highway or like the Hydra? They're like the highway. Exactly. Right? Okay, this is not bad, right? Desire is anti-fragile. Someone tells you you're who love him or her. Whoa, you love him more, right? Exactly. That's why there's no way you can snuff out the LGBTQ phenomenon in Malaysia. You don't snuff it out. All right? Desire is anti-fragile. Morality is fragile. You can be a saint for 10 years, then one sin. Oh, I'm so guilty. Oh, yeah. Exactly. All right? So moving on. Now, students, I claim that the way Confucian heritage culture students study and take exams is fragile to the bone. Memorize. That is, they hate studying for status. It's all boring, blah, 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 blah. And after you finish the exams, everything, forget. Compared to the anti-fragile student like Tony Stark, right? Who we'll see next month, I hope, right? Yeah. He anti-fragile. The way he learns, right? Even his computer assistant Jarvis, always a pleasure to see you working, sir, right? You see, the way he learns, the way he grows. Now, so what happens now? How do we nurture anti-fragile? That is the question we're going to try to talk about today for the next less than 10 minutes, right? How do you do that? Now, I'm going to give you one proposal, and I would like you to think about it. Maybe you can give me more proposals in the future. And so all right, thanks. So this is Elon Musk, and I want to read you this quote from his biography. Before he became Elon Musk, there were compulsory subjects like Afrikaans, and I just didn't see the point of learning that. It was ridiculous. I get a passing grade, it was fine. But things like physics and computers, I got the highest grade you could get in those. There needs to be a reason for a grade, duh. I'd rather play video games, write software, read books than try to get an A if there's no point in getting an A. Now this is completely opposite to the way Asian students think. And I want to propose here, this is something from Taleb. This is called a barbell strategy. And what Elon Musk was doing, he was following a barbell strategy. What is the barbell strategy? Before I apply to education, I'm going to tell you that if you've got $100,000, please don't go to Genting and try to blow $80,000 on it. What Taleb says is this: put $95,000 under the pillow or in the bank. For the so that is safe. Whatever happens, you will always have 90,000 and so on and so forth. For the remaining 5,000, go crazy. Go invest, go put it on Rolex, go blackjack, blah, 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 go blow it. So that's two extremes, hyper-conservative and hyper-entrepreneurial, right? So here we go. When it comes to education, this is what I proposed. I really hope more and more students do this. Basic SPM, PMR, STPM, blah, blah, blah. You have like 8 subjects or 9 subjects or 10 subjects, right? My proposal is this: for those subjects you love or which you're good at, excel. Be like Elon Musk. Get the best grade you can. You know what? Don't even stick with SPM. Go start reading the A-levels one. Go read bachelor degrees. Go wild. Be the best in the world. But what about those subjects you can't really hack? The Asian system says, oh, you can't hack it. Go for more tuition. Faster. Try harder. Keep doing it, all right. Now, but don't. Here's the proposal. Do well in those subjects you love. Do the bare minimum for those subjects you can't really succeed in. No, but you don't fail because if you fail, you're held back, right? So do the bare minimum for the subjects that you can't do very well in. Be the best in the world for the subjects that you're great at. Okay, so what happens if you do? You get optionality. There is no do or die. This is the reason why people kill themselves, because to succeed, you either get 8 A's or you die. That's crazy. There's optionality. You have more options. You choose what you love to learn. Convexity. This is PUBG or is it Fortnite? I think it's Fortnite. Okay. Convexity. When you love something, you can spend 1 unit of effort and your unit of learning jumps. You understand? Compared to tuition, you can spend 10 hours or under tuition and you just get 3 extra points. The opposite of convexity is concavity. So convexity is this: a minimal amount of effort produces maximal amounts of benefit. And of course, the more you love something, the more you love the variability, the different issues, the challenges, the problems. You just want to learn everything there is to learn about it, and you don't care about the standard exam questions. That's boring. That's That's really boring. That's dull. All right? So, the anti-fragile student has optionality, convexity, and he loves disorder and variability. By the way, a pasar malam is anti-fragile. You close it down, you open up here again. That's a pasar malam. So, in conclusion, I hope that more parents, teachers, educators can bear this in mind. Excellence is a matter of selective focus. All these people were great at one or two areas, right? You don't expect Nicole David to be great at jogging or running a marathon. She's great at one thing. Let's start our kids young. And do you know who this guy is? Don't know. Haruki Murakami. If you read his biography, something like what I think about when I run or something like that, he only excelled after he left the Japanese education system. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you.